Okay. Power of the Dog.
The Power of the Dog.
Jane Campion's brand new novel.
Novel?
Novel. What am I thinking? It's
novel?
It's based on a novel. Apologies.
In-Flight Books is
In-Flight
now
Books, yeah.
flying.
That'd be a good recommendation. Brand new movie based on the novel. People are calling this her masterwork, her best film of her entire filmography. However, I would say the piano is very hard to beat. But Power of the Dog is her new Western, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, good old Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst, and, as you said earlier on, Cody Smit-Mcphee. And
run that name again?
What? Who?
Cody
Smit-Mcphee.
What a name!
Yeah, you do know you have seen stuff of him.
Have I?
Yeah, X-Men, the bad ones. Because he's Nightcrawler in the bad ones, I think. I think he's that. Anyway, okay. Side note as well, before we get into it, you know who's also in this film? Very briefly, hardly has a role. Thomasin McKenzie of Last Night in Soho.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It was nice to see her in it, but she has hardly any dialogue. Pardon me. Anyway, brand new Western film, and it's fully a Western film, I would say. It's not cowboys or anything like that. It's not gun-toting or action-packed at all. But the feel, the look, the energy presented through this film, it is so just classic Western that it's on for slightly over 2 hours. But for the majority of the runtime, I was completely swept up in the fact that we actually have a classic Western on our hands again. It's been far too long. Westerns come about every now and again. Many people don't like them, and I absolutely adore them. So for the majority of it, I was just swept up in the look, the atmosphere, especially the cinematography. This thing is gorgeous, it's beautiful. But it got to a point nearing, I would say that an hour and a half, an hour and 25 or so, in which I snapped out of that reality and I asked myself, I was like, what is this film about? And the whole point of the film is actually that the actual plot probably gets announced to you in the last 2 minutes.
Really?
So I don't necessarily want to describe what the film is. To go in a very brief way, it's about Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays, I believe his name is Phil. Let me double check that. Yeah, his name's Phil. And he is the owner, let's say, of this herding and ranch place with his brother, played by Jesse Plemons. And Jesse Plemons gets married to Kirsten Dunst, and Kirsten Dunst and her son, who is Cody Smit-Mcphee, move in. And it's just a very tender and very, I would even say, disturbing at times, tale of how all of these members of this family interact with each other, specifically under the watchful eye of Phil, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. And it's at times, I wouldn't say disturbing, but it goes at times to try and make you disturbed and to try and make you feel very uneasy. And it works. It works a lot. And that's the main plot. You only then find out in the final few minutes what it is actually trying to tell you, what the actual power of the dog is. And I will say that it's not obvious, but it is there. If you're watching the film very, very closely and you try to understand everything, it completely fits. It works. But this is not a film to have in the background, or a film to just try and piece together.
You gotta focus on
You've got to focus, because the ending does not tell you what is happening, and it's very easy to walk away being like, what actually happened in that ending? But the main portions to take away, as all of the nominations recently today have said, is the acting. Everyone's outstanding in this. Johnny Greenwood, who we last heard do the score for Spencer, composes the music for here, and absolutely outstanding as well. It's a very, very strong Western that is not action-packed. It's very slow and melodic, but I was swept up in it from beginning to end.
Wow.
It is one of my favourites of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what it managed to do to me, I was it was completely unexpected, because it doesn't have a lot to say. It's silent, but what it does say, brilliant.
Interesting. Very interesting. I wanted to check it out, however, I'm ill, and I feel like if I tried to check it out, I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is one to like. It's not not to say it's not an entertaining watch, because it is really entertaining.
Yeah.
But it is a slow-paced and melodic.
Mm.
It takes its time. It doesn't want to feed you the story. You just get thrown into these events, these situations, and you take from it what you will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Lovely. Lovely stuff there, Ryan. Thank you very much.